Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. It's of course Wednesday night, it's 9 o'clock and we bring you the very best of what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. It's a jam-packed show tonight, so stay tuned, lots of competitions coming up, lots of entertainment as well. Look out for the Vasco tournament, you win yourself a 250 Rand meal voucher to the Vasco Tavern, and of course the guys from Matfin able to help you with your money matters. Not to forget the fact that Belleville Glass Centre is of course on board with Cape Rugby TV as a proud supporter. All right, folks, on the show with me then this evening, Lyndon Julies from St George's. Hello, Lyndon.
Hi, good evening, JP. Good evening to all the viewers out there.
And Riaz Khan, looking a little bit tired there.
I am tired, bags under the eyes. I've got a little kid at home, so I'm taking the night shift.
We haven't had you on the show for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I'm happy to be back. Yeah.
Did we see you at the media conference?
Yes, you did, and you pointed out that I was naughty at the media conference as well. So yeah, no.
Yeah,
I was left over the knuckles.
I can speak for that firsthand because I've actually seen you in a in an amazing race.
Yeah, I know. Frenetic is the word, yeah.
Yeah, frenetic like a 2-year-old who's just got a lollipop, like mental, insane.
Excited.
Lynn, you want to go? You want to see him go off his nut? Then you need to go and watch him.
We won't speak about the cow did to you though.
No, we won't talk about the cow, but it was an incredible day. Thanks to Violets for that day. Right, coming up on the show tonight, of course, folks, Milnerton Rugby Club had their Milnerton Rugby Day at Theo Maria Park. That was great fun. The guys got out there and raised a bit of fun for at least funds for Franschhoek. Lots of food came in there, and of course, lots of money as well for the guys from Franschhoek. Of course, still thoughts are with them, and still the Franschhoek Relief Fund continues to run. And you can go to the front of the WP Club Rugby website, and there's a link there where you can click to find out more about how to donate to the fund. In the meantime, let's catch up now with some of the highlights from some of the matches at Milnerton. Hello everybody, we're here at Milnerton. It's Milnerton Rugby Day today, and the guys are of course raising funds for Franschhoek. Great to see the Franschhoek team actually came out today and are of course, I think it's their first game. It's their first game since of course that tragic accident. But all props today to Milnerton Rugby Club today, raising funds for Franschhoek. Cape Rugby, we'll get a couple of teams in action.
Not too bad. It was better than last week, so yeah, we're ready for the league, yeah, of course. Don't know yet.
Het is baie lekker om te lank te speel. Harde game, bly soos as wenners afgestap en tot later die seisoen moet ons weer vir hulle aanvat. Ek dink ons is reg, ja. Alles lyk goed en ja. Eers by Good is baie goed. Die ouens is lekker, ons gaan lekker op 'n kamp na volgende week, bietjie die gees opbou en verder gaan dit goed.
I think it was a good game, thanks. Yeah, it was very good quality rugby, and it was a nice running rugby, especially for the beginning of the season. They can only go better from here.
All right, that's just a little light intro there for you folks of what happened at the Milnerton Rugby Day. Not a lot of action. We're still going to catch a couple of other highlights there, I'm sure. But a great day of fun. A lot of people coming out there and enjoying the day. Kids out there, and didn't see any jumping castles though. But Riaz, it's good to have a day like this, especially considering, I mean, you know, the guys from Franschhoek got a call, I think, on the day to come and play.
Yeah, all the clubs that were there were actually told about the fact that they're trying to raise some funds for Franschhoek as well. It was a brilliant initiative from Milton Rugby. They had the tournament last year as well, so it's obviously an annual thing on their side. And I think it was a good gesture on their side to have Franschhoek involved as well. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, I think they really everyone's using what they are good at, and trying to help Franschhoek. And it's good to see that it's more than just rugby. Then, you know, these Franschhoek and Milton were competing for the league last year, 2014, with Violets as well. So I mean, it's good to see that a club that was going at each other for the season actually helping out each other. So it shows that it's much more than just rugby.
Yeah, no, it's quite incredible how people get behind a team, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, it was a fun day. That, as you saw in the first insert there, it was just casual. We were just walking around, having a little bit of fun, and it was also interesting on all the other different fields how well people were getting along. That was very good. All right, folks, let's take a quick look at the Milton versus Franschhoek highlights.
Baie lekker man, hulle pause and forward met mekaar man. Kan aan die gang kom nie.
Yeah, it's nice and we are going to win today. Boys, come on!
Yeah, we are bonding well, man. Take it game at a time. We're bonding up to the league.
A little bit more structure, stick to what we're supposed to be doing, and the game will be going a lot better.
Lekker, they're playing good rugby. I'm enjoying it. Tired, but I'm enjoying it really.
Final score, Unimol 25.
Goeie game, hy laaste game. Jy kon weer hy laaste game. Jy kon weer by laaste game.
Lekker Anne. Ja. Alright. Mekaar weer die laaste game kry.
Okay, Rugby TV, right, so that was Milton seconds up against Franschhoek seconds. The guys giving it horns there.
Yeah, it is, and it's good to see that they, you know, in the light of what the day was for, and a rugby day, guys still going at it, and it's also obviously having their league or their respective leagues, the campaign in mind, going at it, running.
But
the
that's
structures.
exactly right. You know, when we spoke to the guys, it was about the fact that they were trying to move on from things, and they just wanted to play rugby. They wanted to get back in the league. They were actually now starting to get league focus. So you've got to commend them for overcoming it.
It's very, very serious now in the build-up to the start of the season. So all the clubs are serious, getting their squads together and all of that. A day like this brought the lighter side to the rugby. The rugby fraternity in Cape Town came together. They supported Franschhoek, but it was a day of fun. Everybody was having fun. So like you said, taking their minds off exactly what happened and just moving on from there. So it was nice.
What do you make of Franschhoek's chances this year?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think they proved themselves last year. I mean, no one picked them to take the league, and they won the league and they won the President's Cup as well. And with this strategy that happened in the community, I think they're really going to boost and build from there. I think given not forgetting what happened to those three men or the three boys, the two players and the spectator, but I also think that the community of Franschhoek really. I was at the memorial service on the Tuesday evening, and the coach and all of the community leaders there were speaking about how Franschhoek is going to back the rugby team now and the rugby club. So
that's great.
That's really good to hear, and you could see that on the day as well. Yeah.
Well, the other thing, just from a Franschhoek point of view, and just picking up on the social media side, David November, who's at Stelkor, and I think for personal reasons with transport and things like that, is now going to be at Franschhoek. So he's quite active in the media space.
Yeah.
So I think from a media perspective, we're going to see a lot of content coming out of the club.
But also I think Stelkor are now going to have to replace the media, because I think he was running the Stelkor page, because a lot of info on the Stelkor page he was also sharing like immediately after it was posted. So Stelkor is going to have to get that, but also for Franschhoek, I think.
Well, I've got no doubt that Andre Gabriels, who's in charge there, or involved at least with Stelkor, will have someone. He'll snap somebody up in seconds, and you'll see great content coming out of the Stelkor guys as well as the Franschhoek guys, because I think Andre and his crew do a pretty good job there. I mean, that's how they got David November there to begin with. All right, then of course Franschhoek captain Jeffrey Whitelane. We managed to catch up with him. Let's find out what he says. Folks, we're here at Millington. It's the Millington Rugby Day. A lot of teams have come out here today to come and support Franschhoek. With me is the captain of Franschhoek now, Jeffrey Whitelane. Jeffrey, lekker rugby dag vir julle. Natuurlijk ongelukkige omstandighede, maar julle lijkt my julle het nou 'n bietjie gees.
Ja, maar dat is kort kennisgeving geweest. Gestaan die boodschap gekregen dat we daar game man in. Van die man het gekomen en andere man is een beetje te laat, kleins aangehad. Maar die man wat gekomen het die game time nodig gehad en het was al baie lekker dag geweest.
Wanneer jy sê jy het game time nodig gehad, ek veronderstel julle het nodig gehad ook om as 'n span saam te kom, meer as net om rugby te speel.
Ja, baie die dag was eintlik vir ons uit te kom saam met 'n span. En as 'n span die dag te genieten. Dis waaroor gaan het.
Weet julle wie gewen het?
Rugby het gewen.
Maak dit saak? Nee.
Maak dit saak.
Jeffrey, baie dankie. Ons gaan net maar 'n paar pryse oorgee. Jeffrey Whitelane there with a smile, and he insisted that we speak Afrikaans. These interviews always get quite funny, because quite often the players will get behind the guy, come to me and say, moet je met hom Engels
Afrikaans.
Yeah, or the other way around.
And you remind them that's your first language.
Yeah.
Then we switch it out. But I think that's one of the nice things about the show, is that we're able to be bilingual.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still a little bit short on some of the other languages, but we try and get comfortable with people as much as we can. Of course, it doesn't really help all our international viewers who are catching us on YouTube. Incidentally, folks, you can catch us on YouTube, and go to the to youtube.com/Cape Rugby TV, and you can catch us the repeats and the highlights on the YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe, and then of course the minute you subscribe, you're notified the minute we upload any of the interviews or highlights, and of course the full show. Let's catch up now with the captain of Franschhoek, or at least the coach, Eddie Klutter. Mensen, samen met mij is Eddie Klutter, hij is die africhter bij Franschhoek. Eddie, lekker dag vandaag. Die weer het uitgekomen, maar mooi om die boys samen op je veld te zien.
Ja, nee, het was baie lekker geweest hier bij Milnerton. Het was een baie goede dag. Baie goede dag voor rugby, en ik denk rugby het geseef hier bij een van de dag. Zo.
Die boys lijkt me, hulle het natuurlijk door een paar taffe weken gegaan, maar hulle smaal een beetje.
Ja, dat was een beetje close-up voor ons. Een beetje donker geweest. Ons komt hier die tijd, ons het hier geoefend eindelijk. Maar ons begin weer, die league begin over 2-3 weken. Dan moet het recht wees. Maar die ouwens staan op. Dus de sterkte van die ouwens.
Hoe voelt het om te weten dat die hele WP Rugby en omtrent die hele land het zo achter jullie gestaan en staan nog steeds achter jullie?
Nee, het is fantastisch. Ons besef elke dag maar nog net dat die supporting wat ons krijgen is uitstekend, en ik denk dat kan bij enige klap gebeuren. En dan zal ons ook support daar geven. Maar van ons kant dan baie dankie voor die land, dankie voor Sarvo, dankie voor VP, dankie voor Milnerton specifiek om die dag te regelen voor ons.
Ja, dat is zo, ja. Eddie, luister. Goed luck voor die league.
Baie dankie.
a very happy Eddie Kluter there, of course, coaching at Milnerton at the moment. I think they're still getting, at Franschhoek. I think they're still getting some of their management structure sorted out.
Yeah, I think because they were on their way to a friendly when this happened. Then obviously the following week there was the funeral, and then this week it was they didn't have a friendly plan. So it was 3 weeks of not, like you said, they didn't coach.
Put a
team together. They're getting back to it now. Like the captain also said, they're just getting things back. So I'm sure that it's positive to see that they're actually fielding a team on
Well, it's good to see they've got sort of backup resources there. So.
Yeah, well, if you've ever gone to Franschhoek's field, they've got more than enough backup resources. They've got, I don't want to put it this way, but millions of people coming to that field on a Saturday. The entire whole area comes there on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I was amazed when we played there, actually. I haven't seen that at any club for a long time.
But at most clubs, there's no shortage in getting someone to stand in as a coach or stand in as a captain on the day, or a manager. I mean,
especially if you're successful like they are.
Yeah. Milnerton second team coach, at least a second team captain, Heinrich Pretorius. Let's hear what he has to say.
Kijk mensen, ons vandaag nou is op bij Milnerton Rugby Club. Samen met de kapitein nou van Milnerton. Hij heeft nou net tegen Franschhoek gespeeld, Heinrich Pretorius. Heinrich, lekker game tegen die boys?
Ja, nee, het was een baie lekker game. Lekker fysisch en hard geweest. So dankie aan Franschhoek dat hulle uitgekom het vandag. Dit was 'n bietjie kort kennisgewing geweest, maar ons sê dankie vir julle. Sterkte vorentoe vir die seisoen en julle is 'n goeie span om weer op te staan nadat wat met julle gebeur het. En sterkte vorentoe boys. Dankie vir die dag.
Baie positief. Ek kan nie meer vir jou vra nie. Ek dink jy kan ook nie meer sê nie.
Nee, dankie. Ek sê net dankie vir my klub ook wat al die goeders gedonate het vandag en sterkte vir die klub vorentoe. Baie dankie.
Fantasties Heinrich, baie dankie.
Dankie.
And of course we managed to catch up with the Milnerton second team coach Keith Gregory.
Right, folks, with me is Keith Gregory. He's, of course, the coach here of the Milnerton. Which team is this? I mean, you guys put it together?
It's our second side.
Your second side.
Yes.
Good fun playing today?
Yeah, and it was a good game. Good game of rugby. Rugby played for the right reason, bringing everybody together after what happened. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, rugby was a winner.
A little bit of a curtain raiser. We're going to get into the handover now, all these funds and stuff. A lot of support from your players, not just to play rugby today, but also for the Franschhoek boys.
Yeah, the guys brought out, as you can see, a lot of stuff that was brought out and food and that sort of thing. And yeah, as I say, once again, rugby played for the right reason, helping the other clubs that need it.
Yeah. You guys ready for the league?
Yes, we are.
There we go, folks. Ready for the league. It's coming up soon. Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.
All right, so it's all gears there. Milnerton, Franschhoek. I suppose we should be looking at the other teams now that they played against. The main game was against UCT. That's going to come up after the break. But all in all, a good day.
Wonderful. The feedback we got on the social media on the day was that everybody was positive about it. They were very happy with the fact that Franschhoek was invited in the first place because they weren't originally on the roster. But the fact that they were there made the day even more special because it was a normal rugby day at Milnerton normally have annually, but with just having them there made it 10 times better than what it actually was supposed to have been, so to speak.
All right, folks, we're still going to show you the handover. When a little bit later in the show, we'll show you Community Challenge results and fixtures, as well as the Community Cup results and fixtures. And of course those action pictures that we bring you from the Varsity Cup. When we come back after the break, we'll catch up with a Milnerton versus UCT highlights, as well as of course the handover of the donations and funds at Milnerton. Back in a sec. And there we go, yes, of course, remember the Vasco Tavern, 33280, and just SMS the word Vasco and you can put yourself in the mix to win a 250 Rand meal voucher to the Vasco Tavern. Milnerton were, of course, up against UCT on Saturday at the Milnerton Rugby Day. It was a bit of a UCT second side. Of course, UCT playing in the Varsity Cup at the moment, so put together a team that's also just preparing for the league. Let's catch up with the highlights before I turn to my expert panel members, Lyndon Julies and Riaz Khan from Violets. Of course, not both of them from Violets. Lyndon is from St. George's. Milnerton UCT, let's see what happens.
Hasn't really gone our way yet, so we were hoping to pick up some momentum, but yeah, it's been a beautiful day out, eh? Not yet, no. Give us a couple of weeks and we'll have this conversation again.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying the game. Military.
Good rugby?
Yeah, still good rugby. They're still playing good rugby.
All right, there we can already get a bit of a taste. I tell you guys, when that kickoff started, and not only in the Milnerton UCT game, but also in the Milnerton Franschhoek game, but after that kickoff, the clash of bodies. You know, when you're standing on the side of the field and you can hear that bam, that slap of meat against meat. Yeah. Both these teams, Franschhoek against Milnerton, as well as the UCT Milnerton, the guys were coming out guns blazing. Yeah. You would think the league has already started, but UCT, I mean, they're showing their second team side there, and then they, of course, got the main guys at the Varsity Cup at the moment.
Yeah, but I think also that these are just you guys that probably played Varsity Cup last year, still at the club, because what the folks need to know is that with UCT being a university and with the Varsity Cup being the focus of the season, there's also a league and there's also a league side. So you have guys that are 25 years and up that are still part of the club, and also that these players are all students. So some of them are students, so they do have time on their hands. And the way that Milton played, the guys at Milton, Ishmael Dolly and his coaching staff, they're doing pretty well in terms of what if you compare.
Well, both teams have managed to find quite a lot of new players. I mean, there's a lot of former schoolboys playing in the UCT team, and Milnerton, I don't know what they've done, but they must take an advert out in the newspaper for players wanting to leave another club, come out to Milnerton.
Yeah, well, they've probably got something that they that's attracting the players there. I don't want to say giving, but there's something's attracting the players there.
Die sop is goed.
Ja, met die sop, ja. Sê maar die sop. But like Ismail was saying when he was on the show a couple of times, their season never ends.
Yeah.
It runs 12 months of the year. So I mean, obviously the preparation that they put in place for the season coming now, it's going to reap rewards because they look good. I mean, they look like they're well.
But it was interesting just standing on the side of the field. I had a number of people come to me and say, yeah, you know, I mean, the people were walking their dog and they were having fun because there were so many fields active, there was so much activity going on. People were just saying, yeah, you know, I think I'm going to start playing rugby again. I just want to get a bit of a run. I normally play squash, but I think I'm going to start running a little bit and come on a Tuesday and a Thursday. No one worried about the league or what game they play. Just thought they'd play a bit of rugby.
Want to be involved. They just want to be involved.
And I also think that a club like Milton, especially when you get activity going around your field, you know, especially this time of the year, you don't expect clubs to be so active. You know, the Milton, the rugby day, the cause that they had for the day as well, and then also the amount of players at the field. You know, when you see the activity, you can come around, you can enjoy yourself, you can have fun there, and then you find that you can actually you have these guys join up just to play, like you say. They want to trade the squash or they want to trade the swimming for a bit of rugby.
You get a bit of that gees.
But if you're looking at UCT there and you consider that that's their second side and a sort of made up side, it just goes to show the depth again.
Yeah. I think also that your students, especially when they are done graduating, they still remain. You know, the vibe that the guys at UCT have created it's similar to what Villager have been doing. We've used them as an example already, where they've gone back, like what you said, they've gone back to what you know what's doing. I mean, Hamilton's the same thing. They've also got that old boys, that vibe going there. You know, where you find guys that have always won. You know, your McNeil Hendricks, your Willie Beamers. These guys, they're still pretty much involved in the club. So I mean, that's good.
Yeah, they've got a very good old boy structure.
Yeah.
Let's take now, of course, the most important thing on the day was the handover of the food, as well as the funds that they managed to raise. They took money at the gate. The clubs that came gave money, and the players that came, they gave money, and they basically just walked around and started collecting. By the end of the day, they had a couple of thousand rand. So really good initiative. But now let's see it firsthand.
Right mense, dis nou waarvoor ons gewag het. Dis natuurlik die donation handover hierso Milnerton vir Franschhoek. Die spanne het vandag by mekaar gekom. Baie spanne van oral in die WP en saam met my is Teswell nou, is die voorsitter by Franschhoek, en Nolien Oosthuizen, PR marketing guru by Milnerton. Nolien, just quickly tell us what you did for during the week.
Okay, what we basically did is we asked everybody to bring a tin or any non-perishable items with, from toothpaste right through to oil we've got here. And we had school rugby this morning, high school rugby, and they all brought stuff as well. So it's been going this whole week, and we got some money together for them as well. We're standing at the moment at 3,200 for the day. So we'll hand that over to them. And they
You can go right ahead and hand it over. There you go. That's a little bit of cash there. There as well. Teswell, daar's 'n bietjie kontant daar, so net oor die R3,000, maar die spelers het almal saam ook kos gebring en tandepasta en rys, en ek sien hier so sommer cream of tomato sop hier so. Hulle sê mense speel rugby mos vir 'n koppie sop. So nou is julle klaar betaal vir julle rugby vandag, né? Almal het 'n koppie sop. Teswell, hoe voel dit dat die spanne so agter julle staan?
Nee, ons is baie dankbaar vir almal in die Weskaap en oor die land. Spesiale dank vir aan Nolien en haar span, vir Ismail en almal hier wat 'n bydrae gelewer het. Alles het hoe klein. Baie dankie.
Want dit is fantasties. Is 'n moeilike tydjie oor die laaste paar weke, maar ons het nou ook met die ander ons gepraat. Dit is nogal ongelooflik hoe die rugby familie agter 'n span kan kom.
Ja, nee. Kyk, ons het op die oomblik as dit nie meer regtig van soek rugby geleentheid ongelukkig as 'n hele WP aangelede en met ons gemeenskap en met die gemeenskap agter ons, dink ek ons doen goed onder omstandighede, en die manne as 'n ware vandag op kort kennisgewing net weer besluit hulle wil speel, en toe Nolien van my vraag gistermiddag hulle wil speel, die manne ingestem met eens dat hulle net om in die gang te kom.
Mense moet vorentoe beweeg.
Ja, en ons dien het ook ingestem om volgende week hulle wedstryd by ons te kom speel. Ons is dankbaar vir hulle ook dat hulle saam vir ons as 'n ware insien om net die momentum hier volgende week te kry. Maar baie dankie vir Cape Rugby, vir almal JP, Milnerton. Baie dankie.
Teswell, vir julle ouens, ja, sterkte. Right boys, good luck. En ons sien julle op die veld, né?
Ja.
Right from us here at Cape Rugby TV, folks. Donations, I mean, lots of food again from Milnerton. Well done. We'll see you guys after the break.
All right, folks, I think let's just take a minute to pause on the fundraising initiative for Franschhoek. We know obviously, guys, we know that the funds were raised for Franschhoek, but what it goes to show is that when you want to raise funds for a club, for any reason, if you just get your act together and drive the initiative, you can do it, because people will donate. If it's a R5 or a R10 or R1,000, people will donate. We saw it with the firemen and the fundraising. I mean, I think one of the local radio stations raised R3.5 million in one day.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously that's an extreme scenario. But if you have your plan right, take a little bit of money at the gate, you put your poster up and you show people what it's for, and you kind of get it onto the TV show and publicize it, you can raise funds for jerseys or for whatever you need.
But you get to create a hype and an event around the whole scenario. Like you say, you've got to do your marketing properly as well. Milnerton, this is an annual event for them, so they've already got the crowd coming. And the fact that Franschhoek was there now, obviously the reason for it was even greater. But that's the whole thing. They normally market these tournaments. Now, Lean does a great job at her club, social media, all those type of things. So it goes a long way. I mean, you can't do anything these days without getting involved in that space.
So you, as a PR at Violets, what sort of advice would you give a club in terms of marketing? We talk about marketing, people. It's a fairly broad definition.
Well, one of the most important things that I normally do at the club is, if you're going to have any event, try not to have the event on a short notice. Give it a certain amount of time for you to give enough time for it to integrate within the community, and for you to be able to get out the word of the function or whatever it might be with the event into the broader community. Go onto the radio, go onto Cape Rugby, send in your posters, do your stuff on Facebook as well. I mean, there's such a lot of innovative things you can do these days. And if you don't have somebody at your club who's very clued up on doing those things, I mean, you can find someone at your club.
Find them a trick.
No, you
Find
can
somebody
find
standing
someone.
at 8.
There's always somebody who
Because
can
you want
play on
somebody
these.
who's got to stand at 8. Lyndon, I mean, you know, you've got to.
I think I've got to stand on 8, yeah.
Junior certificate, JC. Yeah. But what I mean is, you can identify somebody within your community who will have those skills.
Yeah.
Just when you think you don't have, there are always people around
Always
there.
people there, yeah.
There's always somebody who can do it, and obviously they can come to you for help as well, like you mentioned in the media seminar.
Yeah, so that's a two-way streak, though. I must just incidentally, I must point this out.
Okay.
You know, we have got the share it, air it campaign concept running at the moment, where if you share it with us, we will air it. All right, within boundaries, you kind of have to be a little bit limited there. You can't just be using everybody's logo left, right, and center. But if you share it with us, we will be able to get your content and air it. Now, it's a two-way streak, folks. If we find you, first of all, you need to be able to tag us. Otherwise, we don't know that you've shared something out there. So you have to put our name in the tag, either if it's on Twitter or if it's on Facebook. You've got to put Cape Rugby TV so it comes up as a notification for us, and we then spot it. And the minute we spot it, we share it. Now, here's the thing. So why I say it's a two-way streak is once you read the Cape Rugby TV post, don't just stare at it, right? It's not stare it and we air it, all right? You have to like it and then also share it to your friends. Okay, so if you, like I say, I mean, we're giving the benefit, so you must like the page or the post or the comment of what any club is putting out, like, and then share it, because it'll automatically share into your personal profile. That's important.
Yeah, also Cape Rugby, like you said at the media seminar, is the moment Cape Rugby shares it, you might only have 300 followers or 300 likes on your page, then it automatically goes into over 10,000 followers right there, and then that people pick it up and it goes, so it can, it'll snowball eventually. Not everyone will see
That's
it.
exactly the right word. It does snowball. Because if you think, if as we explained it in the seminar, if you're a club rugby and you've got a Facebook page, you might have 200 likes, okay? Yeah. It's very difficult to get massive likes if you don't have a massive audience, for example, like the Stormers, who have got 300,000 plus. Now, the way that it works is if you have, say, 200 or 300 fans on your page, once you share it to us, then you start reaching the 10,000 plus mark. Right. But then if you think about that, each person who reaches it might have 10 friends, because it goes on their personal
minimum of
profile.
one friend, for example. That's another 10,000 people.
Yeah, like I've got I don't know, a couple of thousand. I don't know them all. You've got a couple of hundred. You've got a couple of hundred. Yeah. So not only do you land on the 10,000 page with us, and then it goes out, but every person added up. So if there's 10 people posting a comment, that's 10 people who could potentially be sharing it to another, if they only had 100, another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people. And that's the way that it should be working, folks, is you air it, we share it, but you must also share it, all right? It's not stare at it and then we air it, okay. But it looks like it's going well so far. I mean, it's just sometimes difficult. Like a lot of times we find the post accidentally, or people don't notify us that something's going to come up. I mean, over the weekend there were a lot of posts about the Collegians game. There were posts from other matches and people getting involved, but we only saw them on the Monday or on the Tuesday because they don't tag in there. You've got to tell us, like, you know,
Yeah, so when you, it's also that some of these clubs that don't know how to tag, or they don't tag you, or the fans don't know how to tag. It's they maybe just need to know how to do it, or they don't click when they do tag you, then they don't select the page, so they think it's in, or they just write it in their lowercase, or or whatever, you know. So,
but I think this is exactly what happens is we're able to have these conversations, and when we have these conversations, people that are watching right now are thinking, what is a tag? At least we're having these conversations, and you know, and because you know, I was thinking about as well. We did the media, the seminar, but in the days afterwards, I kept thinking, there was so much more I needed to say, so much more I needed to explain. So we really do need to follow up seminar very soon.
But the media seminar, sorry to break your word, Lyndon. I was sitting next to Mr. Birding from Amadeus, for example. He had his phone out. He was looking for Twitter and speaking to his people. Where can I find Facebook? Can I put up a picture? You know, those type of things. So you're converting people. Every time you do one of these things, you're converting more and more people.
It's
growing. It's actually growing.
It's like my dad as well now. My dad is also now. He asked me about Twitter, and he asked me, so can people see what you're doing. Is this happening? Is that happening? So he also wants to what's the hashtag. So he watches the show and then he hears the media seminar was here. So he was trying to tell me about the media seminar and trying to coach me on it. So that was kind of cool.
I think that's quite fantastic. Okay, then just for the record, folks, a hashtag's not something that you smoke.
It's a hash brown.
Yes, you.
How do you know this? How do you know this?
You've tried to smoke a hash brown?
No, that's something with Kentucky sells.
You were dead.
Yeah, hash brown. Yeah. All right, folks. Let's take a look now at the Community Challenge semi-final results that happened on Saturday. Of course, it's now out. It's False Bay beating Roses United 67 points to 0 Houston, going down to the Paarl region. So those are two teams there, and of course also on Saturday then False Bay are up against Paarl region in the final. That's at City Park. Kicks off at 2 o'clock. All right. So there you've got your semi-finals. False Bay beating Roses and Houston going down to Paarl region. So well done then to the guys. Okay. So in the finals then, of course, it's False Bay up against the Paarl region. All right. And I think that certainly is going to be a match of note. We've got some more information on the Community Challenge, so we'll talk about those semis and those finals in a sec. We'll take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll talk to you about that. Right, so there you go. It's False Bay and the Paarl region are taking each other on in the final. 2 o'clock kickoff at City Park. Cape Rugby TV will be there. It's going to be a game of note. False Bay, we always knew was going to come through.
Yeah, now False Bay's always been pushing. Even during the league, they've always been that third side, tipping Durbell, just breathing down Hammy's necks. So I mean, they've really had a hot and cold for the past 4 or 5 years. But I think really, this is really putting all those doubts to rest now.
Yeah, Riaz, did you think at any stage the Paarl region were going to come through? They had a bit of up and down, eh?
Yeah, we had on the one show the 1 week there was a fixture between Paarl region and Austin, and they were playing Austin away. And I told you that Austin was going to pull that one through, and they did win. So for Paarl to go back to Austin and beat them in the return fixture now to get to the final, brilliant, absolutely brilliant from their side.
If that wasn't perhaps the game, was it a home game for Paarl?
It was the Austin home game.
Oh, Austin home game.
And Austin
it was the one where they played the Vodacom or the club.
The Vodacom game.
Yeah. That was the Paarl home game, and then they went to.
That's what I'm thinking.
That was that week, yeah.
It was that week that they had that rough week. They played on the Tuesday against the Vodacom team, and then they played home advantage, and it didn't work for them. And we still sat here thinking that wasn't a good idea. But Paarl region, then, if you think about the fact that they really pulled together from different clubs to make the Paarl region, they worked with Jerome Parvata at the HPC, and now they've come through and they're in the finals against False Bay. This is going to be a cracker of a game.
But I also think, JB, because they are from different clubs, the Paarl region's coach or the coordinator or the manager there really has to work with these clubs to get these players to practice. Because obviously they need to practice for at least twice a week together as a team, and then also not taking away from their clubs as well, because these players are good players if they can compete against False Bay and your Austin, which is a club on its own. So I think the Paarl region are really doing good in this community challenge.
But the idea of a representative side from Paarl playing in this competition is brilliant to begin with. I mean, it gives exposure to them. They've got a Paarl region on their own now, so they don't compete in the rest of the leagues like we compete, Super League A, B, and C, for example. So they've got to play amongst themselves every year, year in and year out. So for them to have a representative side to take it further within that communities there, it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they're almost like a province on their own.
Exactly.
All right, Community Cup 5th round results then. Let's take a look at the results over the weekend. Hamilton's beating Evergreens 45 points to 21, and Durbell beating Rustenburg Impalas 24 points to 10. Lyndon, you were out at the Evergreens game, Hamilton. So George's had a friendly first.
Yeah, we played against Hamilton's a mixed side between the second and the first side. Hamilton's won, or the scoreboard was 19-13 in Hamilton's favour. But I think the Evergreens, what was really good to see was Eden FM, the radio station, was travelling with them. So this radio station was there. They had 2 buses, a couple of cars from George, the guys from Oudtshoorn, taking the drive down Pakkelsdorp to support their team, And I think Hamilton's was on the day were just too strong.
They're just the stronger side, yeah. Then Durbell, of course, beating Rustenburg 24-10 as strong.
That's also, Rustenburg is also strong, so I think Durbell are doing really well. Yeah. I think our Super League A within the union in the league is going to be a good one, because we've got UCT, Durbell, and Hemis. I think Marties and Falsberg are going to be the outsiders this year.
Yeah,
I think
we'll catch up on that in a sec.
yeah.
Let's move now to the Community Cup quarter-final fixtures coming up this weekend. Of course, it's Hamilton's up against Westbank. Durban are up against College Rovers. So Hamilton's up against Westbank, playing at 10 o'clock, and then, of course, Durban up against College Rovers at 12 o'clock, playing at the Impala Rugby Club. So quarter-final fixtures, there you have it. Let's take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the Varsity Cup results and fixtures, as well as some of the Super Rugby results fixtures. And don't forget your notice board for those of you that sent in your event posters and friendly posters. Let's catch up with that in a second. In the meantime, ad break. Don't forget Vasco Tavern, $250 to a winner who SMSs the word Vasco to 33280. Back in a sec. All right, let's quickly take a look now at the Varsity Cup results in the 7th round. It was NMMU going down to Tuks, 40 points to 8 played in PE. UCT beating UJ 8-0. CUT going down to Marties, 53-8 in Bloemfontein. And then, of course, Shimla's beating Pika, 29 points to 6. Let's take a look now at the action picks from the match, UCT against UJ. All right then, there you go. Now the next set of action picks. CUT against Marties. It's just not going Marties' way. Let's see some of the action. We go. A couple of action shots there. I was mistaken. Marties, of course, had a bit of a turnaround, but I don't know. Marties really hasn't. I mean, it's a little bit too little, too late.
Yeah, I think those two draws in the beginning really hampered them, and then everyone didn't think they were going to make it. And then I spoke with Dorflinger Blanche at Marties, and he said that there's a mathematical chance maybe, but then too much needed to happen for them to come through the semis. I mean,
it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Not enough. Varsity Cup semi-finals. Then, of course, it's Shimla's up against UCT, and Tuks take on Pika in Pretoria. Then in the Varsity Shield, the results there: Wits beating TUT 50 points to 5, and UWC another good win for them, 58 points to 8. So looks like Ollie Jansen has got getting his team to play there. Varsity Shield fixtures coming up. Then UWs against Wits, UKZ up against Fort Hare, and then in the Super 15 fixtures, or at least let's look at the results quickly. 28-13, Waratahs beating the Brumbies. The Sharks 11-10 over the Chiefs. The Bulls 25-24 against the Force. Crusaders beating the Cheetahs 57-14. The Rebels going down to the Lions, and the Highlanders losing to the Hurricanes. Okay, there's a couple of upset results there. Let me quickly touch on that. I was shocked that the Waratahs Bulldogs beat the Brumbies.
Yeah, no, I think the Brumbies they really hit their form.
Yeah.
But the Waratahs needed at some point, they needed to come up again, I think.
The other shock win for me was the Sharks beating the Chiefs. And I must say, I love watching the Chiefs play rugby, but what a disgusting game.
Yeah, both sides, I think. I just don't think that Busma disappointed me personally.
I don't know. This guy, he must just, quite frankly, I don't want to see him on the field anymore. It's always the same problem.
And then
when do we learn? What do we deliberately pick him because we need a hard man, mongrel kind of guy on the field?
No, but I think then also afterwards, then he always says, "I'm sorry," but then they
but he's always sorry.
He's always sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. We can't tolerate that anymore. I mean, it's the mere fact that they keep on putting him in the team with such a lot of other talent coming through their ranks as well. The academy system is brilliant there as well.
And it is a Franz Stein repeat again.
Yeah.
He high tackles Cheslin Colby, and then what do we have? We have a tip tackle on against the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, you can't allow that anymore. I mean, like you said, it's every time there's something new that comes in there. And I mean, when are we going to put our foot down and say, you know what, put him out for a couple of weeks or suspend him or do something? Because even they've got review systems after the fact in soccer, for example. And we've got to do something in rugby. We've got to say, look, you know what, we're going to review this as well.
Like he's a bad apple.
Something.
He's just a bad apple. He's just not going to change.
But Franz Stein didn't even get a suspension now. He's back next week on the field.
That's
What
what I'm
message are
trying
you
to say.
sending to your guy on the field that doesn't have, your first aid? When that happens on a club rugby field or at a school field, then you can't find that.
Yeah, no, it's very disappointing. All right, then let's quickly take a look at the Western Province events that are coming up over the next couple of days. It's the IRB Box Smarts Referees course on Friday at Sachs High School, starts at 2:30. Then it's Box Smart Refereeing course on Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then, of course, your weekend fixtures is Montague Villagers up against St. George's. Villagers take on Vix, Kuilsriver take on Tygerberg, Brackenfell and Kraaifontein. Belleville are up against Rangers, NNK, Durban, Franschhoek and Scottsdene. Some of the posters that we got in then from the clubs. St. George's are up against Montague Villagers. There we go, that's a nice poster there. Safcol United, Roses United and Strand United, the United battle in Pineview Park. I've got no idea where Pineview Park is. Probably in another province somewhere. Then, of course, Langa. This is their derby day. Langa up against Lagunya. And that's Derby Day happening on Sunday. This Sunday, action starts at 1 o'clock. So get down to the Langa Stadium at 1 o'clock on Sunday. There's going to be lots of fun, a lot of entertainment. Langa, Lagunya, and I'm sure that people are going to really enjoy that. Another match to look out for there, brought to you by Belleville Glass. This Saturday, Kuilsriver take on Tygerberg at Jachtershof Sports Field. That's going to be exciting to watch. So make sure that if you're in that neck of the woods, the Kayla boys are up against the Tira. That's on Saturday the 28th of March. And then, of course, don't forget, next week it's the Easter Festival, the Easter Rugby Tournament, Blake's Rugby Football Tournament at the Cruiseville Sports Ground. Super Brew predictions. All right, folks, but before we go to the Super Brew predictions, there's a couple of interesting fixtures there. I'm looking forward to the Langa game. That's on Sunday.
Yeah, I think the Langa Lagunya game, that's always a good fixture. It's like over the weekend where I was at Collegians and Silver Tree.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the similar environment. I'm really looking forward to that Langa and Lagunya, to hear the reports of that one.
All right, then, Riaz, if we look at some of those other fixtures there, what do you make this? We've got these oaks from St. George's that are doing some travelling. You think are they just doing it to get some warm-up?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've already got everything wrapped up on their side of the offense. Yeah.
We never really know what goes on with those guys.
The Lulu
I
boys,
believe your guy Farrell has broken his arm.
Yeah, Farrell was in a bit of a handbag incident over the weekend.
Well, we don't know why. We just know that he's broken his
arm. Yeah.
So now he's injured.
He's injured, yeah.
All right. Super Brew is, of course, the Super Brew rugby pool that all the Cape Rugby fans are on and making Super 15 predictions. Let's take a look at the top 10 there now. And there you see it. Mansell Werimu, Wilding Bat, Johan van Wyk 91, The Master, Tian Diano, Tony George, JK Boskat, Lucky Boy, and Zabu. 0, 1, 2, 3. Those are your top 10 in the Super Brew rugby pool. Vasco Tavern is, of course, one of our supporters here at Cape Rugby TV, and on a weekly basis we give you an opportunity to win for yourself a dinner voucher valued at 250 Rand. All you need to do is SMS the word Vasco to 33280. Vasco to 33280. Congratulations then to last week's winner, John Nurse. John walks away with a dinner voucher to the value of 250 Rand. Let's take a look at some of those other friendlies that are up over the weekend. Montague Villages, Lyndon, you're up at St. George's. You guys doing a bit of travel. I take it this is like a bit of a team building session.
Yeah, we're doing a bit of a team building. It was going to be, we were going to tour to Montague, but then we contacted Villager and they were also off. Obviously got to do this planning way ahead. It doesn't happen 3-4 weeks before.
Okay, then Riyadh's Villagers take on Vix. You guys have quite a lot of experience in that neck of the woods. Yeah. Villagers playing against Vix, the Stellenbosch side.
They need that. Villagers need that because Villagers, if you look at what the pre-season has been like, it's been a bit disjointed if you look at what they've done and what they've played now. Yeah. So I don't know where they are. So this is a good test for them.
Are we expecting a big match, Kelsriff against Tygerberg, London?
Yeah, that's definitely a big match. I think Tygerberg have been tested with the likes of NNK and Bellville, and they're close. Kelsriff was also hit test, right? So I think
given everybody really 50s, eh? Kelsriff was beating everybody with 50
by
plus.
50 and up.
Another team, two teams that are very close together is Brackenfell and Kraaifontein. It's another bit of a derby match.
Same thing, War of Attrition. That's going to be a forward battle of note,
Bellville travel to Rangers, or Rangers travel to Bellville. Those two a little bit further away, but it's going to be an interesting game.
Interesting. Bellville as well. Bellville played good against Tygerberg, and then last week, so I think there's going to be a good matchup.
Another two teams that are also very close together, more of a derby match. NNK take on Durban.
Yeah, I think that's also going to be a similar scenario to Brackenfell and Kraaifontein. Yeah. So
and then Rias Franschhoek take on Scottsdene.
Yeah, that's going to be running rugby of the highest caliber. Scottsdene runs the ball like nobody's business, and Franschhoek the same.
Yeah,
their pace there is amazing. Yeah.
And then, of course, just on the fixtures this weekend, the Stormers are now travelling. What do you make of their chances of away for the next 4 weeks?
Well, if you look at the start of the season and what they've done so far, besides the hiccup against the Chiefs now, with the change that was made at halftime, obviously brought about the downfall, you could say. I'm sure they would have learned from that. And over the past couple of years, the Stormers have travelled well. They haven't travelled too badly. So I give that chance. I rate them, yeah.
Yeah, but Netzebet's back. They've got to do the swapping between Skalkberg and Dwayne Vermeulen.
Well, to be honest with you, sorry to break you with it, but even Netzebeth back is good news, but it could also not be good news because he hasn't actually hit his straps yet, since he's come back into the side. So the guys who've been filling in for him have been doing very well. Jean Klein, they've been doing excellently.
Yeah, they sort of know the moves.
Yeah, exactly. So he needs to lift it,
But also, sorry Riaz, cut you, but also with Alstead being out for so long, I think Netzebeth's come back into the side is going to be a good thing, and I think also given back that they prepare for the World Cup, so it's going to be good. It's going to be a good start, a good setup for them. Yeah.
Right, folks, don't forget then, of course, there are a couple of picks of the week, if you want to call it that. Kelsriff, Tygerberg, get down there. Bellville Glass, of course, sponsoring the event. It's going to be at Jachtershof, so get out there. It's Kelsriff up against Tygerberg. That's going to be a big one. And don't forget, Langa are up against Laguna, and they're playing at Langa Stadium, and kickoff is at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So at 1 o'clock at Langa, Laguna takes on Langa. Get down there and enjoy it. It's going to be really good fun. Of course, False Bay take on the Paarl region in the Community Challenge Final at City Park. That's on Saturday at 2 p.m. Lyndon and Julius, thanks for joining me.
Thanks a lot for having us, and all of the best to all the clubs this weekend. Enjoy the club rugby.
It's going to be good. And Riaz Khan, you in action this weekend, or you relaxing?
We're at Chrysalis in Tokai at the Rugby Academy. It's our training camp this
weekend.
So, around the corner, So we're looking forward to that, getting everybody there.
It's a bit of a team building session.
Team building, everything, the whole weekend,
From the factory to the crystals. All right, folks, don't forget then on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and don't forget, if you are posting from your Facebook page, remember to search for us, and I think it'll come up if you first like the Cape Rugby TV Facebook page. So if you like it, then when you're typing it out in your message, you'll find Cape Rugby TV will pop up, and that's the way that you tag us in your Facebook pages, and then it gives us a notification that you have made a post, and then we will share it. All right, and once we share it, and if you're commenting, don't forget, make sure that you like the page, like the comment, share the comment to your friends. That way everybody gets to know about what's happening at your club. All right, it's Cape Rugby TV. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.